Can we correct that back feed in this Zoom? Getting a little irritating, but whatever. So. Yeah, just echoes back. Like repetitive stuff.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing is a consent agenda approval, August 8th, 2022 minutes, approval of August 9th, 2022 special meetings minutes, and approval of payment to Olson Associate professional service for sanitary sewer phase 1A North LF improvement in amount of $107,374.66. Approval payment to the League of Kansas Municipality for city administrative search in the amount of $1,128.82. Approval payment to Kansas State Treasurer for bonds interest payment for GEO Bond Series 2011 B1 in the amount of $32,906.25. Approval payment to Kansas State Treasurer and bonds interest payment of GEO Bond Series 2012 B in the amount of $328,320. And approval of utility deposit refunds. Approval of municipal judge report for July 2020. Is there a motion we approve this consent agenda as read?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Regular agenda 9, a public comment petition and moral thank cards from the family of Doris Gibson, former street superintendent, next Seymour's grandmother, and I pray for them. So going from there, request from Troy Knob and Noah Boyd with the Hiawatha Baseball and Softball Club. You can have both of you want to come up, you can. So.
We'd like to thank you for having us on the agenda tonight. We're here to request permission to use some of the soil that is in the proposed softball area of our sports complex and use it for fill for our indoor training facility, which is going in approximately where the old batting cages were located. The material would be available. It's close. It would be much cheaper for us to get that soil moved over and use it for a building pad site. Noel's got more details than I do, but we're asking permission to use that dirt. It's twofold. As we move forward on the softball field that we would have planned to put in that location, we've talked to you guys about it and have first right of refusal on that location. We're going to have to dig that out anyway to bring that field down where we can level it up with the outfield. So removing that dirt now saves us a step or a partial step down the road when we move forward with the softball field. So again, we're here to ask that permission. Noel, you want to give an idea kind of how much dirt and go over your drawing, please?
Yeah, so Kyle and Knut Knutson will be doing our dirt work for us. And Knut's the guy that did all this 25, 30 years ago anyway. So he's real familiar with what's there and what got pushed in there and what he took away from there originally. They think we'll go down about 3 feet in that proposed area for dirt work. They'll use a scraper to scrape it off and then move it up to that indoor facility. All the black dirt or topsoil kind of get pushed off to the side and then brought back in to for grading and to cover up anything that we need to cover up. Our softball field, we think has to go down about 6 feet. So we're getting about half of it out now. and then half later when that happens. So from the north line, which is the top line of that indoor facility, that box to the south line, it drops about 2.5 feet. And then on that very bottom right corner, that's where that hill drops off quite a bit now. And so there's a fair amount of work that has to be done to bring that up.
Yeah.
So,
We're trying to bring the floor level of our building up, even with the sidewalk behind the dugout. That way, any water runoff has a place to go other than inside the building. So the reason we're bringing this up is for drainage purposes to protect the building.
You know, do you have a start date yet for your building?
they are ready to move all their equipment in Wednesday and start
Yeah.
moving dirt.
Wow.
So
that's
we're ready to start
exciting.
moving dirt Wednesday. We actually have a groundbreaking ceremony. I hope you guys can all join us on Sunday at 5 o'clock to kind of kick this off. But yeah, we got equipment willing to come in on Wednesday. And we thought it was gonna be a little later, so we're a little slow getting some of the stuff done. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they moved their schedule up. So here we are reacting.
I actually didn't know where you're at in the fundraising, if you had enough to, and I'll be out of town on Sunday, so don't think I was just ignoring. showing up.
Okay,
So,
well, I appreciate you letting us know.
so, and I said, where you want to take the dirt from is just where the softball, you hope the softball fields,
Yeah,
and where is that in your grand scheme? How far out is that?
You get a map or?
Yeah,
Time wise, we still have about 175,000 that we've got to get pulled together to finish our building. I mean, that's complete everything. And we have a plan. We're working on that. The reality of it is, if we apply for a grant through the community development block, it's due in January. And we need at least 25% in order to do that. And we just got numbers back for the softball field. It's projected to come in right at around $1 million. So we've got to raise 250,000. I don't think we can get that accomplished before January to get a grant application in this year. But we hope that we can put if we don't get this done this year, we hope that we can do it for next year. So again, we've got options out there. We went and talked to the county this morning about COVID funds and whether some of those COVID funds might be available for us to either help finish our building or look at part of the match funds for the field. So until we get an answer from them, we don't know. In the meantime, we're going to assume we still got to raise all that money. So we're still working, but we have a plan. We have options that we're working through.
So if you're a couple of years out on the softball, how are you gonna leave this disturbed area?
So it'll
Between
be, it's
now
not
and
like
then.
it's gonna be a 3-foot cliff, a sharp edge. It'll be all tapered down, similar to what is on the very east side of that proposed area right now. And we'll go ahead and plant grass
You
back
will?
on it. I don't know if it'll be this fall, if we do that on most of it
Okay.
and then do a
That's-
little
That
more
was
in the
my next
spring.
question.
So,
If you're
yeah.
gonna-
Yeah,
Yes.
we plan to return it to, because
Okay.
we don't want to erode and we don't want to have those problems. We want to take care of that area out
I
there.
just pictured a mosquito breeding ground. It was just this,
No,
or
it'll-
it'd be a great puddle for kids to play in.
But it won't be a puddle. It will all
It will
be
be,
graded to
Yeah.
drain. We're not making
Okay.
a swimming pool out there. It'll all be tapered and it'll drain because we don't want a mud hole.
Have they looked, I'm assuming they've looked at that soil, that's something they can use for foundation. that-
Yeah.
not-
Canute thinks
clay or
that
crappy
that
or-
area right there was something that was never touched.
Okay,
And so,
Yeah,
He's
most
confident.
of, most of Brown County dirt's got enough clay in it to compact it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have to take very much off the top before we start moving it north.
Are there any water lines through there that you know of?
Not that I know of, none down that area.
There is a sewer line out there.
Yeah, I was
And
thinking there
it's-
was something out there,
it's for,
but
it
it's deep.
travels,
Down by
I met Dave Grimm out there. We looked at it.
Okay,
It
good.
travels from the concession stand restrooms, travels south a little bit, and then it diagonals southeast down to the sewer main. That's
That's
there.
down by that swale.
And
deal there,
he
isn't
said it's so deep that
it?
they
Yeah.
probably will actually run a new sewer line for us when we put our building in.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't think we got any
Well,
problems.
you're on top of it.
I don't think you're gonna get that deep. so.
I don't think so. But we will be moving some dirt. It's not just a couple inches.
that's
Yeah.
exciting though.
Yeah, we're really
It's a lot
excited
of
to see
work.
things moving forward and start seeing some success.
Well, I'd like to make a motion, just go ahead and approve them so they can move their dirt to their new facility so we can open their new complex, hopefully Sunday. So. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Thanks, fellows, for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bet.
Again, come join us Sunday, 5 o'clock out at the ball field. We'll be doing our groundbreaking ceremony.
And I'll be there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Old business, none, new business, I guess there's none, so we'll report from the commission and staff. Do you have anything, Andy?
I don't have anything for regular session. I do have some items to discuss in executive session, but I see Lynette put that on the agenda, so I'll wait for that.
When do you want it? You want an executive session?
It's already on here.
Yeah, Lynette put it on there for us today.
Second
So
page.
after the
All right,
report.
thank you. Mickey?
Where do I start? Went to the school board, met with Lonnie and the principals before school started, got Brandon going with what they might need, and we got school kicked off finally. Mr. Rosenberger has given me a bid, or not a bid, but a quote of an estimate what it's going to cost to replace the ADA ramp out front that's falling apart. He's projecting to do that in October. So that's what we got scheduled with that. Lynette, I've been driving her nuts. We have a sam.gov account for the city that we have to get updated. And apparently we have to have documentation validating Hiawatha. It was established in 1857, and finding documents that's acceptable has been tedious. And I believe that Dave has found something. We're going to find out soon whether that'll work to document that. I'm still looking for applicants. I'm down an officer. He broke a bone in his arm, wrist Saturday. So I'm down one more. So he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks, I'm guessing. But other than that,
Everything going smooth then, huh?
been busy. It's working.
I do want to comment that it sure was nice having officers at every building as the kids are coming back, just having a presence and being around. It's noticed and appreciated. So
You're welcome. We were available. It didn't hurt anything to go do it, and we had the manpower. So
anytime y'all want to be there.
I know. Well, I've told them that too.
Thank you, Mickey. Lynette? I guess, Andy, you want an executive session for how long?
I would say 15 minutes at least.
Okay,
Yeah, I will make a motion that the city commission recess into executive session in the conference room for 15 minutes to discuss matters of potential litigation. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship. The open meeting will resume at 6:03. Am I right? Yes. In the commission chambers, and to include the city commission attorney and interim administrator, the city attorney and interim. Oh, never mind. That's it.
Sorry.
is there a second?
I'll read whatever you put.
Second.
Motion been made and second, roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the movie Anchorman? Rock stars.
45 seconds left.
I'll read slow. I'll make a motion at 6:03. The city commission is called back into open meeting. The commission took no binding action during executive session.
Second.
I said that. Drive
You
myself.
done?
Motion been made and seconded. No other comments. We'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Larry, you have anything?
I've got three things on my list here. One is, our two recruitments have not gone very well, and so I've started looking at a special category list with the International City County Management Association called Members in Transition. Those are people that are in between current, having a municipal job and going to the next one. So last week I went through a fairly large bit of geography, and I got about 29 names to work through, and I found one guy that wanted to talk to me. And with the idea that he would want to have an opportunity to come to Hiawatha and take a look. Well, today he said, no, Larry, I'm not going to do that. He was more impressed on running his new business than trying to come here and pick up that job. Has nothing really to do with who we are, but it was everything about who he is and his business at this point. So today I went back to that member in transition list, and I'm looking at the whole country with people who are within 6 to 9 months of their recent position, and I'll be making phone calls later tonight, find out if there's anybody that would be interested at that point. Absent anything like that, I'm thinking that the best thing would be to wait until after the fall election so that we can, say, we've got an election, we've got a new mayor, who it is, we don't know yet, but that will help in the process of doing recruitment. Dave Grimm's project on Highway 73 will be done on Monday. That's where he will be cutting the highway and repairing a sewer main that's running north-south on the highway. There's been some erosion underneath the pipe, and so the best work will be to go in and clean that out, and then is expecting to get that all taken care of on Monday. And then finally, our seal coat project on Oregon is still up in the air. Herb has been trying to get in touch with the contractor as early as this morning. He has not heard back on when they're going to start that yet. So that's where we're at. Thank you.
Well, I think on your city administrator, I think you ought to be more aggressive. I don't think the election's gonna make any difference, so.
I don't know how much more aggressive he can be. I mean, he's sending out letters, emails, calling people. I don't.
But I just think we need to make sure we're just keep on top of it.
I'm not giving up.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
All right. I have nothing, Dave.
Yeah, the land bank met last week, and we voted to accept an offer for a person to purchase an empty lot on 807 Shawnee. So that's in the works to try to get that purchase complete.
Did you see how much work is done to it? You haven't
No.
purchased it yet. You should go buy it.
Clean
They
it all
work
up.
all weekend And it is really cleaned up.
Great. That's what we need.
It's been cleaned.
We're
So
gonna
if you-
80 what?
You wouldn't
Shawnee?
recognize it.
807 Shawnee,
Okay.
south side of the street.
You wouldn't recognize it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's amazing.
Great.
You should really drive by and see it after work. Probably.
That's all I have.
All right. Brian?
Yeah, I do have one thing, not a big deal. I was sent a picture of a street sign at Shawnee and 9th and Shawnee, and the 9th is spelled incorrectly. I was just wondering if we could at least take that sign down until we get a new one. Just
As a matter of fact, the sign has been replaced.
okay, excellent then.
We got so many
That's an easy
major
one.
issues in town that I thought that was pretty petty, but whatever. So, all right. Anything else? Evans,
So
I have nothing.
Becky?
Well, I already said thank you to the police department for what they did. I also just wanted to point out, I always like to see when the city works with the schools, and Stacy Jasper had a football camp for little bitties. I don't know what the ages were, but it's a flag football camp in the Hiawatha football team. I think it's a 3-hour camp on Sunday, which is a little warm. So it's just fun to see our high school kids working with little peoples. And if you haven't been on the Hiawatha Parks and Rec Facebook page, you should, because Stacy had a post said something like, welcome back fall, missed you. And it has tremendous amount of flyers of all the stuff that she's doing for the city, all the different events that reaches all ages of people. So it's just, I want to make sure it's a lot of work. And last thing is, if you haven't been in the Fisher Center since all the remodel and all that stuff is done, you really should. It's a different place. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Was there a motion we adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded adjourn. We'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
bye.
All opposed?
Motion carried and meeting's officially over.